Ladies and gentlemen, we're reopening Arkham Asylum. That's right, The Rock. And no, not Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. Alcatraz. That's right, unless you've been under a rock. Ha-ha! You know that God Emperor Trump himself has said it's time. For too long have we had supervillains running wild in America. It's time to open up our most famous prison. For too long has Rikers Island been the United States' shittiest island prison. Yes, my friends, it's time. It's time we start shipping all of our problems onto the islands. It's something that we as a society have been doing for years, dating all the way back to the Great Formation of Australia. And before them, the banishment of all criminals to South America from the tribes. Yes, South America was the tribal Australia, in case you didn't know. That's why the cultures over here were more violent. Oh yeah, blood sacrifices, cutting out hearts, cutting off heads, rolling them down giant staircases to cheers and jeers. What a blast it was. But no, it is time. And I hope we don't find ourselves in a Batman situation, where if you build it, they will come. The reopening and expansion of Alcatraz is pretty cool. Unfortunately, it means that my time has passed to see Alcatraz. Yes, it seems like my only opportunity to see The Rock will be if he makes another WWE comeback or from that cool movie with Sean Connery. It's a good movie. If you haven't seen it, I suggest checking it out. Now then, before we fill The Rock with supervillains and the biggest meanies known to man, I suggest we fill it with somebody a little bit more devious. Society's most annoying. That's right. If you are an annoying piece of shit out in society, you will be now sent to Alcatraz. Looking at you, Jack Doherty. Look out, Neon. You're going home. Actually, that would give them a lot of content. I would finally tune into a Neon stream if he got sent to Alcatraz. Also, please implement all of the old rules of Alcatraz. Here's one of my favorite rules of Alcatraz, the silent rule. During the 1930s, nobody was allowed to talk. If you were in Alcatraz at the time and you said anything, off to the hole, nerd. That's pretty good. Visitation restrictions. While some people did give visits, all visits had to be approved by the warden personally. Not a lot of people got visits in Alcatraz. Also, no physical contact at all, and no discussion of prison life or current events. So you can talk about nothing. Oh, hello, prisoner son. How's prison? Can't talk about it. What's going on in the outside world, Mom? Can't talk about it. What do you talk about? I guess family news. Boring. In Alcatraz, you were only guaranteed 4 things: food, clothing, shelter, and medical care. Everything else is a privilege. Did you want to see the sun today? You weren't a good boy. No sun for you. Did you want to eat with everybody else? Oh, I'm sorry, you talked. No eating with everybody for you. I mean, it is prison, but Alcatraz was really rough. Even for the time. Yes, the early and middle 1900s were not a good time to be a prisoner in the United States. But it was a great time to be a criminal. Cops back then were very dumb. But if they caught you, they might beat you. Alright, they probably would. What'd you say about my mama, see? Times before body cams, you had to treat the cops with a little bit of respect, or else you might get your skull cracked. I don't know. This one would suck. No facial hair. And you gotta get a haircut every 3 weeks. In fact, I say we take that a step further. Let's implement North Korea's style haircut rules, where you can only get 1 of 12 haircuts. One of them being the Donald Trump. You can look like our glorious leader. And while we're at it, let's bring these prison rules nationwide. Make being a prisoner suck again. You know, I don't agree with that last thing I said fully, but I do think it would be nice for us to have really bad places to put really bad people. Like if you're a regular Joe and you don't pay all your tickets and you say, hey, you know what? Rather than paying these tickets, I'm just gonna go spend 30 days in jail. I don't think you should be supplemented to going to Alcatraz. However, if you are a supervillain like Professor Chaos, well, it's time to go to The Rock, my friend. Now I hear you at home saying, Chronic, we already have Super Max. To which I say, have you ever seen the show Super Jail? No. It's time now to go watch it. But I tell you what, it's not that bad. Even Super Jail looked kind of fun. And I mean, when you're a criminal, isn't it a little bit cool to be sent to these places? Like, isn't that kind of what you're working towards? I mean, call me silly, but if I was spending my life doing crime, getting sent to Alcatraz, well, that would be like becoming a CEO or something. People work their whole lives to become heads of prison gangs, to spend the rest of their life locked down 23 hours. Call me crazy, but I think some criminals are going to be really hyped with the prospect of going to Alcatraz. Lord knows I would be. But yes, I know we already have super prisons. prisons, but they're not super duper prisons. So I hope that Alcatraz takes it a step beyond, another level higher. Maybe somebody who knows somebody will say something to someone who sees this video, in which case I'm talking directly to the president now. Hello, Donald Trump. It's me, your favorite YouTuber, the Chronic Gamer. I know, it's been a while since you watched me play Gmod. I remember, but Mr. President, I come before you, hat in hand, to ask you this. Please make Alcatraz really cool. Could we get sharks? Maybe sharks with the frickin' laser beam attached to their head? Mr. President, why stop at an island jail? Couldn't we bore a hole to the center of the earth and then place them underground? Why stop here on Earth? Should we not open up a lunar colony and make our first colonists super prisoners? Does that not sound like a good idea? I think it does. I'm only halfway jesting because Alcatraz has to be really cool. Why else open it again? I couldn't tell you. This is an opportunity for something neat. Let's make Alcatraz as horrible as we can, and then let's really think about space jail. Or, everybody's talking about bringing the ISS down. What if we convert the ISS into a jail? Now we're thinking outside of the box. Now we're really doing it. Mr. President, if you're still here, I volunteer to come up with ideas for even crazier jails. Watch this. A jail inside of a volcano. Oh yeah, it's always hot. Nobody would want to go to volcano jail. And that's a fact. If you're really bad, you just get thrown into the volcano. I think volcano jail would probably be the worst jail. I can't even top that one. If you can figure out how to put a jail inside of the magma of a volcano, have it just always be insanely hot in there, not too hot that you die, but pretty dang hot. And then the guards are just sitting in the cold boxes, experiencing AC, sipping ice cold drinks, eating ice cream. Rocky Road. My God. Open up a super hot jail where you do that exact thing. You don't have to put it in a volcano, but open up a super hot jail where you do that exact thing. Psychological torture. That one's for free. That one's for free. But I thank you for your time, Mr. President, and I thank you for your time, the Crontards. If you made it this far and you're not subscribed, what are you doing? You just watched like 8 minutes. Watch another 8. Watch another video or 2. Subscribe. If you like the video, please drop a like. I'm trying to watch Al Gore's rhythm go crazy over here. And down in the comments, what kind of super jail would you open? Do you have any new rules for Alcatraz? Get creative with it. I've already came up with my ideas for super jails. If I could implement one super rule, this one would only apply to the ISS jail, but 3 strikes and you're out. That's right. If you commit 3 offenses, you get floated. Shout out to everybody that watched the 100. Anyway, I'm Chronic. I'm about this piece and I love you. Adios, amigo.